Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of the Perception Diet, and today I am super excited to bring to you my friend, Osha Key. So Osha is the owner and mastermind behind the LoveTarianDetox.com, and over there she's got tons of free, amazing information on weight loss, on health, on transforming your life. And I wanted to talk to Osha today because she's got a really awesome and unique perspective on the weight loss journey. And here on my channel, I don't talk a whole lot about weight loss because I tend to focus more on let's figure out what's actually going on in your mind. Let's figure out what's going on with you emotionally and all this. And this is kind of why I wanted to talk to Osha, because she really takes the approach of what's going on with you inside, what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your emotions, and how that is playing in to maybe you're carrying excess weight. So I'm definitely going to let Osha talk more about that as we go along today, but I just kind of want to give you a brief intro. So I met Osha 3 years ago through Young and Raw. She was writing some articles for Young and Raw, and I just thought she was really cool. And so we've been kind of circling each other for a while, and now she's over in Asia and we're in Peru and we're going to be in Asia, so I'm sure that we'll meet in person in real life. So I wanted to bring Osha on today basically to have this awesome conversation about the most loving way that a person can approach a weight loss journey. And because this is an important topic, and it's a pressing topic. There's a lot of people out there who are struggling with excess weight and who are struggling with the health implications of excess weight and not being able to shed that weight. And so again, this conversation is not about getting a perfect body and that we think that weight loss is important. It's more like, as Osha is going to go into in this conversation, that weight loss and this weight loss journey and this getting healthy journey can be a catalyst for self-discovery and growth. And that it's not about getting the perfect body so that you'll be happy. It's about getting happy and getting mentally healthy and getting emotionally healthy and then having your body kind of align with that, right?
Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's been 3 years since we first chatted online, and I'm really excited to be here today. And if there's any of the Lovetarian tribe watching, you should really check out Ali because she's amazing. She's got really cool content. So check out her YouTube videos, and she's really cool. So, all right.
Cool. All right. So to get us started, let's have you tell us your story. So I know that you started from a background of excess weight, and then you kind of went on this huge journey of healing and personal discovery and personal growth, and to arrive kind of where you are now, living this kind of very beautiful life, this very free life, this life where you're feeling like you're on purpose and you're helping people and you're interacting with people every day. So yeah, let's give us a little insight into Osha and how you got to where you are now.
Yes, so I think my story with excess weight started when I was a teenager, about 14 years old. I remember first, when I was 12, 13, I didn't really care about my body. And I remember that one moment when I was looking at the picture from my birthday and my arm was like twice or 3 times as big as my best friend's. And I was like, huh? Who is this person? What is this body? And then I started worrying about it. How do I look? And do I fit into the clothes? And because all women in my family, they were struggling with weight, it wasn't maybe the main focus of their lives, but it was always in the background. Just dieting, trying to lose weight, and commenting on each other and on other women. So I think it just programmed me that it's a part of being a woman, always worrying about how you look like, not feeling good enough, and it's sort of a standard. And even though when I was 14, I didn't think that way, but I think it just really programmed me this way. And then I got older. Well, when I was 16, I think I gained quite a bit of weight, and it was I want to be this cool teenager and wear all these short shorts. I don't want to be overweight. So I started dieting. And I remember when I was 17, I went on a cabbage soup diet, which like
Mm.
I fainted after 7 days and like lost my period for 6 months, and it was so bad because when you're 17, that really affects you. And
Yeah.
then started all these other crazy diets, and I started smoking and drinking lots of coffee. And when I was a student, there were like weeks where I would go just drinking like 5, 6 cups of coffee a day and smoking and not eating and trying to diet. And I never actually thought of when I was a teenager, like in my early 20s, about health. It was just like, am I slim or am I not slim? And it
Right.
doesn't matter what it takes. I've got this like event, my cousin's wedding in like, I don't know, 6 weeks. So I'm going to do everything to fit into that dress and look good. So it's like, I didn't make that connection that being fit and looking good and being lean is actually just like a byproduct of being healthy. So
Right.
never like, and I thought I knew a lot about health because I was reading all these magazines. So read this, egg whites, and like fat-free dairy and all this
Yeah.
like advice. And I thought, oh, okay, so like the less calories, the better. But never like occurred to me that I have to nourish myself, nourish
Mm.
my body. So I went on to this dieting, and there was a moment, like a period of my life when I was doing this like liquid diet, when from Monday to Friday I would just eat liquid foods like coffee and juice, and not even like homemade juice, but just from the pack.
Right.
And on the weekend I could eat whatever I want. So, when you're like 18, 19, you get away with these things and your body recovers and you can be okay. Whereas like now when I'm 30, it's like it wouldn't work. Even if I tried to do that, I would just feel so bad, probably hangover after all this food.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I got really, really sick after like really working for a few years in a really stressful job. And I got really sick where I couldn't ignore it anymore. Like
Mm.
I had terrible backaches, like allergies, dermatitis. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, and my back pain was so bad because of excess weight that I couldn't even function. So my doctor prescribed like 7 tablets of aspirin a day.
Oh.
And that was my aha moment. Like, I have this backache not because of aspirin deficiency.
Right.
It's something else going on in the body. And then I started thinking everything and set up everything, decided to quit my job and go to Philippines for a while and really heal my body, just relax and
Mm.
take time to think what I want to do next and how I want to live. Because then I already started like my self-development journey and like
Mm.
started to find my values, what I really want to do in life. I don't want to be killing myself in this 9 to 5 job and doing all these crazy things when, yeah, it was just health wasn't like so not important in that
Mm.
part of
Mhm.
my life. I was like just eating takeaways and lots of coffee, just trying to, survive and just like be productive at work and do as much work as possible. And then I defined my values and I realized, okay, like health was my number one value, but
Mhm.
my life didn't reflect that at all.
Right.
So that's when in 2010, that's where I started changing, and then little by little, and it didn't happen overnight. Like it wasn't a story, it was like, oh, I realized it and went on that or found this like magic trick. And suddenly like 2 months later, I'm all this like slim and the life is beautiful. It took
Mhm.
years, and I was like doing well sometimes, and then you go back to your old habits, and I was like went on a raw food diet for a while, then went back, and just took years to really heal. And that's how I discovered like it's not about the diet. You can have the best knowledge, you can have the best diet plan, the best meal plan, and exercise plan in the world. But if you're not doing it, you're not gonna get the results. And
Right.
usually there's a lot of diets actually they work if
Mhm.
you do the work. But that's not the problem. It's not that we need another diet. Like there's a lot of information. It's just
Right.
we're not doing it. So
Right.
then like, and when I started actually working as a nutritionist, I already like studied nutrition, got my certification, and I already was healthy and living in Thailand. And then I was working on doing personal meal plans for people. Or some people would then you go on a Skype session like, oh, I'm going, oh, actually, I just ate a box of chocolate and drank coffee all day and cried like on the floor. And then you realize, okay, so it's not actually that you need a new meal plan. You
Right.
need to learn how to love yourself and solve your beliefs and emotional traumas, and there's other reasons why you actually do this.
Right.
So
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
okay, so let's start kind of back at the beginning. So the first thing that kind of stood out to me there was when you mentioned that you kind of had this programming from very, very early on that like weight loss and worrying about your weight and worrying about diet and how you look and all this was just a part of being a woman. And
yes,
I think so many of us can resonate with that. Like I have like a very similar story. I remember sitting and talking with my grandma who was like in her 70s, and she was telling me that she was going on this diet to like lose some weight before they went to like Mexico. And I'm
yeah.
thinking like what? Like I remember thinking there's no way in hell I'm going to be 70 and still friggin' going on a diet to lose weight. Right?
And
Like,
so much pressure. And
yeah,
living in this constant stress, like, oh my God, I'm gonna eat one more bite. Like, is it gonna make me fat? Is it
right,
like according to my macro ratio? So is it
right,
like in my daily calorie count? It's like so stressful and takes so much mental space and mental energy, and it's not the way to live. Like
exactly,
even if it gets you that, fitness model body or whatever you want to have, like it's not worth it.
right, right.
Mhm.
And I think that's another very important point here. And I think that this is a huge part of what you talk about in your program, and a huge part of what I talk about just in general is like a part of the reason diets don't work long term is because they're not set up to work long term. And so
Yeah.
people really like we're addicted to this quick fix idea of just like I'll just do the liquid diet, I'll just do the cabbage soup diet, I'll just do the whatever, the low carb diet, I'll eat as few calories as possible for these like set number of weeks and I'll get the body that I want. But it's like but you're not going to be able to keep it, right? And
Yes,
so
exactly.
and all it's like it gives you that instant validation, it gives you that instant like weight loss or that instant whatever, but you know that like you can't keep those habits up and you're just going to go back to where you are. And so I think that a lot of people really feel like when they go on these diets it's like they're making progress, but really you're not, right? You're actually staying in the same place just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And
Yeah.
so kind of the next point that you made there is like that it wasn't that you like found a diet and then 2 months later you were like awesome, right? That it was like you put in years of healing yourself, of healing your body, healing your mind. And I think that it's kind of difficult to motivate people to put in the time that it does take to actually get yourself to a place where you can be healthy for the rest of your life, right? Because this is what I'm saying
Yes.
is like it isn't a quick fix, and it's not going to
Yes.
happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in a couple of months, right? It's going to be trial and error. It's going to be going inside and really figuring things out, and it's going to be a process. And I think that people really just think, yeah, but I could just go on the diet and lose the
Mm.
20 pounds. So like, why should I invest in really like figuring all this stuff out when I can just go on a diet and lose the 20 pounds? So like, what would you
Yeah.
say to
And
who's kind of in that mind space?
um yeah, and I think that's why you don't even need to think, oh, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Sometimes it really helps to give yourself 1 week or
Right,
2 weeks or 3 weeks. And for example, the way I quit smoking wasn't like, okay, I'm going to quit smoking for the rest of my life. I took one day at a time. And I always had a packet of cigarettes in my drawer, I remember. And I would tell myself, I can smoke today if I want to, but I'm going to choose not to smoke today. And if I really want to, I'll do it tomorrow. And I did it
right,
day after day after day. And now it's been, I don't know, 8 years since I haven't smoked. So sometimes you just need to take one day at a time or
right.
1 week at a time. And the
Yeah,
reason why I like design my program, it's not like, oh, there's some sort of program that we're going to follow for the rest of our lives. It's like it's set up for 21 days because anyone can, commit for 21 days. And then
yeah,
you feel amazing. And then you feel like, okay, this is how this food and how this mindset exercises affect me. So I'm going to continue doing this. And not because
Right.
this is sort of a diet, but because, oh, okay, it makes me feel good. I want to feel good. So that's why I'm going to do it. So
Right.
sometimes you can just, start with small steps, baby steps, and see where it takes you. Because if I, like, when I started in 2010, if I told to myself, I'm not going to eat chicken or whatever I was like eating at a time, like ever in my life, I would be like, freak out, no, I'm not ready. Like, this is like,
Right.
vegans are crazy people.
Mm.
And, now, like, it's been, I don't know, years since I haven't eaten chicken or anything like that. And it's not because, like, this is like the sort of protocol I follow, this is like my restricted diet. No, it just doesn't feel good. This is not sort of thing that I want to put into my body, and that's it. This is just my standard for my health.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So I think these are two very good points that we've made first, kind of off the bat. Is like number one, you seeing that like being a woman meant worrying about your body and worrying about your health and worrying about your weight is like was just like a normal thing. And I think that that was like for you and for me, that was like a tipping point. You kind of look
Yeah,
at
and
that.
it took
Yeah.
years to change that. And to
Right.
be honest, I think there's still some residue of that. And
Yeah.
still there's some, I'm not saying that now I'm like completely, I can levitate and I'm all this like perfect person. And like I don't have any
Mhm.
bad beliefs. Of course it comes up from time
Yeah.
to time. There are like things that trigger me. And that's like, but now I see different as like, oh, I notice it and I'm aware of that. Oh, okay, there's something that I haven't dealt with. So there's a great opportunity. It
Right.
shows me that there's some part in me that, oh, okay, so, and it feels good now. Okay, that's like sort of a challenge. Okay, so I need to look into this
Right.
rather than just going like in life unconsciously and not knowing what's happening and what triggers me and why am I having this breakdown or whatever is happening. Now it's like, okay, so when you're aware, like you process things differently.
Right. Perfect. And so, yeah, so awareness, like even just kind of being aware of your own story and aware of your own thoughts and aware of your own reactions to life is like an amazing first step. Is just take a
Yes,
step back and just look at what's going on. Like that's really all you need to do. You don't have to have the answer. You don't know how to fix it. Like you were saying, it's really just one day at a time and just starting with being aware. Like I have this belief that women are supposed to struggle with their weight all their life. Like that's an amazing thing to even realize about yourself, right?
yeah.
And that it's so pervasive in our culture. And is it true? Like, is that actually a part of being a woman, or is that something that we made up? So that's like the first
Yeah.
step.
And
And
it
then,
is true if you take it as truth. And
right,
if in your reality it becomes truth, and then you will see all women around you that will struggle with weight, and all your friends, you attract friends that have the same issues.
right,
And if you decide, no, that's BS, I'm not gonna be a part of it, then suddenly after a while you realize, oh, okay, I'm like surrounded by different people, and I forgot even that this is a belief.
right. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, and then the second thing is realizing that yes, in truth, finding your healthy body and finding your healthy mind and finding your healthy self is a journey. And it's going to be a lifelong journey, really. And that it's not so much about convincing yourself not to do the quick fix thing. It's really so much about convincing yourself to just take it one day at a time. Tackle what you can
Yes,
today, right? Do what you can today and don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about
yes,
getting your willpower all like geared up for the rest of your life.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
what you can do today. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
beautiful. That's an awesome message. So the next thing is, how did you start to actually uncover what worked for you and what really was going to heal you, and then how did the whole kind of like mental side of this start to come in for you?
Trial and error, really. I read so many books on like self healing, so
Mm,
many valid books, so many like books that are a waste of time. Probably not, nothing is a waste of time, but some things
yeah.
like weird things that don't work. And
Hmm.
did like lots of energy healing, spiritual healing. Listened to all the seminars, attended in seminars, and worked with coaches. And so I've done like, I don't know what I haven't done. Like I've tried
Right.
all these things. I'm even embarrassed about some things that I tried. Like,
Okay.
you know, so yeah, tried everything. And then you sort of trial and error, you see some things work, some things don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And for different people, might like different things might work for different people. And
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, in my program, I put things that work for me and for my clients, and it's just not their way, it's just a way that works for
Right.
a lot of people. And this is sort of how you also talk in your videos. It's sort of like a map, someone who traveled before you. So it's not necessarily like, oh, this is the exact and only way and follow this. If not, like you'll die or whatever happens. It's just a way that worked for someone and for
Right.
also a lot of other people. And you might try it if it resonates with you. That might work for you.
Right.
So yeah, really trial and error. I try different techniques, different things, what works for me, and some of the techniques I can continue using them. Some of the tools, and
Right.
meditation has been a huge, huge life changer for me. So
Right.
I started practicing in 2012, and especially last year, I did so many like silent meditation retreats, and really, it's not that you discover something in those retreats or some like magic happens, or you just see some beings or whatever happens. It's just you remove all the distractions, the
Right.
food, the talking, and whatever distracts you, all the electronics, and then you just left with yourself, and then you start seeing these things, and just like you think that you heal something, and then after a few years you might see there's like layers, and not, maybe healing is not the right word, but you just think you dealt with something, and then
Mm-hmm.
you see deeper. It doesn't mean that the work that you did before didn't work. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
you uncover something else. So really, meditation has been really life-changing experience for me, because as I said, I didn't discover something new. I just like remove the distractions, and I believe that all of us have the answers inside if we really know how to listen to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So that's like a really beautiful, awesome point. And I think that um, what you're saying is it's not necessarily that like, because I think a lot of people might think like, what the heck could meditation have to do with weight loss, right? Like it seems like that doesn't make any sense. That's not burning calories, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I think that what you're saying here is that it's this practice of becoming aware of yourself. That it's
Yes.
really just like it's not this big mystery why you can't lose weight. It's not this big mystery why you're unhealthy. It's not this big mystery why you have the habits that you have or whatever. And it's you might not even be in a place where you're kind of like not even aware of what you're doing, not even aware of how you're sabotaging yourself, not even aware of how you're kind of being kind of your own worst enemy when it comes to your health, because we're just so distracted in life, right?
Yes.
And life is
And
just yeah. Go ahead.
it's also sometimes a matter of asking a question. No one told us to ask these questions ourselves. And sometimes you just ask, what could be the reason I'm carrying excess weight? And you'll get an answer instantly, because
Right.
your body knows. You have this wisdom, you just haven't asked, and you've been distracted and thinking I need some new fix, new diet, or
Yeah.
new pill or whatever. And sometimes you just need to ask.
Right.
And sometimes you might need a coach to ask you these questions. Sometimes you might need some worksheet, or sometimes you just think of, oh, what would be the right question. You ask what question to ask, and then
Yeah.
you come up with these questions, and then the answers. And sometimes the answer wouldn't come up instantly, but then after a day you'll be in the shower and suddenly, this aha moment, it's like, okay, I understand now.
Right. Yeah. Totally. So this cultivating a practice of awareness. So it doesn't have to be meditation. You don't have to be
Yes.
sitting on the floor with your eyes
No.
closed in this position, right? It can be anything that helps you just like clear your mind, so not clear your mind of thoughts so that you're not thinking, but clear your
Oh,
mind of distraction so that you can get
yes.
right. That's a very different thing. And it's when you start to cultivate this awareness of yourself, right? It's what you said, there's going to be these layers that start to unveil themselves. And through this process, you will discover what you need to discover to go on your journey. So like a huge thing that you're saying here is that this is a journey of trial and error. You cannot be afraid to fail at stuff. You've got to be willing to try and just see what works and see what doesn't. Because, like you said, there's like a million ways that you can lose weight. There's a million ways to get healthy because there's a billion, like 7 billion people. It's not one thing. And if it was just
Yeah.
one thing, that'd be like, I don't know, our world would be a lot easier, right? But it's about kind of learning how to slowly but surely trust yourself again, right? Because
Yes.
that's a huge thing, is that we've all learned to abdicate our responsibility onto doctors or nutritionists or people on TV or whatever, because we don't believe that we can trust ourselves, right? We truly believe that we don't have the answer and we need someone to tell us. And what you're saying here is that essentially a huge part of your journey was learning how to go inside and find your own answers, learning how
Yes.
to talk to your body, learning how to communicate with your own self, and that you always found that you either gravitated towards an answer or you found an answer within. And so this kind of idea that this journey is absolutely one day at a time, and one of the most important things that you can do for weight loss is to spend time with yourself, right? And
Yes.
just eliminating those distractions just for a period of time every day, where you just, tune in and like figure, like, and like you say, you can ask yourself, why am I carrying this weight? Why am I struggling with this weight? Why am I sabotaging myself? Why can't I figure out a healthy thing? And you will start to reveal the answers to yourself. And I think that because a big part of this is that your body wants to be healthy. And I think that this is
Yes.
something people really don't believe. Like, I think we all
Your
kind of
body
have,
is never ever against you. And
yes,
actually it carries like excess weight because it thinks that it's beneficial for you. It does
right.
everything to protect you. And when
Mm-hmm.
I started, this was one of my aha moments. I realized how much I was abusing my body with like cigarettes, alcohol, junk food, and putting so much bad stuff in it, and it was still functioning. It was still waking up every morning. It was
Mm-hmm.
still pumping the blood and doing all the things that it's supposed to be. And it's like, that was, yeah, a huge aha moment for me. Like, okay, so my body is actually trying to do everything for me to survive. And when
Yes.
you put excess weight, it's because of the stress, and your body doesn't recognize the stress, whether it's lion chasing you or whether it's, you're stressed at work, or whether it's like you've been dieting and you put your body into like starvation mode. So your body just does everything. It thinks that, okay, we're stressed, maybe famine is coming, so we need to store that fat around the belly to protect this amazing person that we are, so it always, always has your best interest. And
Yes.
as long as it thinks that being fat and carrying excess weight for one reason or another is beneficial, it will do everything to make sure that you remain exactly this way.
Yes.
And it has like the power.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain controls your hormones, your hunger hormones, your blood sugar regulation, stress hormones, your metabolism, your thyroid, everything. So it has the power to control you. And you think, oh, I'm going to outsmart my body with this new
Right.
smart diet, but it never works. Yes, it works maybe long term. You lose a few kilos, which is usually just water weight. And then your body does its own thing, because your body is the boss. You are not
Yes.
the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just need to make sure, like, you need to change this. So you need to reprogram your body so that it realizes that, okay, carrying this excess weight is no longer beneficial for us. Now, being lean and being healthy is beneficial. So,
Right.
and then it happens like you have different cravings. You want to eat green juice, or you want to eat something healthy, and you won't think of Big Mac at 2 a.m., in the morning. So it just changes. Like, you start craving different foods, you have more energy to exercise, you don't have these sugar crashes, you don't want to drink coffee because you already have a lot of energy, and then your sleep cycles heal and everything. So it starts from within, not without.
Right. Totally. So yeah, this idea that your body is doing what it knows to do to keep you healthy, to keep you happy, to keep you holy, that is like huge mindset shift, right?
Yes.
Like I said, like so many of us just totally believe that our bodies are against us, and kind of like back to the beginning, like especially women, we kind of just like, we were born into this society that says, okay, your body is going to try and make you fat, and you're going to have to do everything that you have to do, like everything that you can do in your power for the rest
So
of your
you're
life.
fighting, and as long as you're like fighting and going against your biology, it's not going to work. You have to work with it,
Yeah.
not against it. Because
Exactly.
yeah, as I said, your body is the boss. Like it will, at the end of the day, it will win. If you
Right.
keep starving yourself, it will make you sick or do something that, it's, yeah, it is the boss. So you
Exactly.
just have to
Biology is always
work with it. Become friends with your body rather than, like enemies fighting all the time.
exactly. And so like this idea that like biology is always going to win out. So really get
Yes.
yourself on the side of biology, right? Your body is not against you. You have started a war against your body, right? But your body is
Yeah.
like continually forever on your side. And I know, like I say, like there are people who have illnesses, there are people that are going through a lot of things that really feel like their body is against them. And I'm just saying that like for anyone on any kind of journey, not even just weight loss, but like healing in general, is like if you can start to understand that your biology is always doing the best thing it knows to do for you, no matter what's going on with you right now.
Yeah.
That's like a huge shift. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was that so biology is always on your side, your body is always on your side. You're you're trying to be healthy. So this is the huge shift. Shifting from a weight loss mentality to a health mentality, right? Because I feel
Yeah.
like this huge thing in our culture is that like, and I think you'll probably agree with me on this one, is like every time I've seen someone where their goal is weight loss, health almost never happens. And weight loss sometimes happens, doesn't happen. Sometimes happens, doesn't happen. You're always going to go towards the thing that's going to give you the quick weight loss, which is almost always the thing that's going to have negative repercussions in the long term.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're focused on health, it might not happen that you lose weight right away, but long term, the people who are focused on health, right? Eventually, it leads to permanent healthy body weight because, like you said at the beginning, a healthy body weight is a byproduct of
Of
health.
being healthy. Yes.
So
And
when did
you
that?
get into the way that's naturally healthy for you. And for some
Right.
people, it might be, I don't know, 40 kilos, 45 kilos. For some people, maybe 65 kilos. And it's not like,
Mm,
oh, you need to look like a fitness model and have six pack
right.
abs.
Right.
It's not about that. And like you feel that.
Right.
And I know when I was like 40 pounds heavier and I walk up the stairs and I feel like I'm doing cardio on like your joints as well, then you feel uncomfortable in your clothes and just walking, and you know that, okay, this is probably not how you're supposed to live. And
Mm-hmm.
when you wake up in the morning and you're like fresh, refreshed, and when you have energy, when you can run, when you can do certain things, and then you know, okay, this is working, this is, I'm healthy, and probably it's not the perfection, and there's always, something better. I'm so like I'm getting older, but I'm getting healthier, and maybe
Yes.
like in 5 years I'll feel even better than now.
Yes,
So
of
who
course.
knows? But I know I remember how I felt 10 years ago, and I know how I feel today, and I can compare this,
Right. Totally.
and,
So
and
when
you
did that?
can't like, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can't lie to yourself. Like you can convince others that, okay, I'm slim, I'm healthy, but like deep inside, if you feel like shit, like,
Yeah.
you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, right, like biology always wins. When you can't, your mind can come up with all of these things and all these reasons and all these justifications for what you're doing and how it's going to work and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. Like you can't
Yeah,
pretend that you're not sick when you are, right?
yeah,
And or that you can't pretend that you're in a really healthy state forever when you're not, right? It's going to
yeah.
show. So when did that shift happen for you from I'm going to do whatever it takes to lose weight. I'm going to go on cabbage soup diet. I'm going to go on the, juice all week, eat whatever I want on the weekends diet to, okay, I'm going to get healthy. When did that shift take place for you and how
I
did that
think
happen?
when I got really sick and when I got really overweight, because I wasn't like really overweight for my whole life. I was a little bit chubby, like when I was a
Mm,
teenager. Then I would get skinny, then a little bit more chubby. But then I got really overweight after like living in England and got really really sick with all these health ailments. And then I got fever and I couldn't heal. My temperature wouldn't go down, and I was just like really sick and spent a week in bed and thinking about life and just like felt so bad. And like my body, I know it's not healing. I'm so tired all the time. I'm eating all this bad food. There must be a better way. So I think that's when it shifted. But for me, it wasn't some like, oh, one day I got this aha moment, and from that moment, it all changed. And I think it doesn't work like that for most people, although it sounds really good on paper when we're reading these books. This was my aha moment, yes, and it is a aha moment, but a lot of people they heal something, and then they go back, and then they feel like, oh, I'm complete failure, it's not working, and it's I'm the only one who's like failing and all these good things I've done. It's always like, no, it's just how it works. You go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But then you know what works for you and you learn things and you can't unlearn it. So you have this new information, and even if you go back, even if you fall off the wagon, like that's fine. That's like a part of the process. And failure is not I always say failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. It's like part of the process.
Beautiful. Love it. And I think that, that's like hugely important is that, again, when you're focused on health, it's going to be this learning process. It's going to be trial and error. It's going to take time, right? And that's why it's really important to just kind of like focus on the day but then also focus on where you really want to be, right? Like who do you want to be? Where are you going, right? Like what is the
one of the things that really helps instead of trying to define where I'm going, which is also a good question, but another thing is how do I really want to feel? Because a lot of people think, oh, okay, I want this, I want that body, I want that six pack, but you don't really want six pack. You want that feeling that you think that this six pack is gonna give you. So you actually want confidence. Maybe you want to find a partner. Maybe you want to feel connected. You want to feel loved. You want to feel appreciated. So it's really important to actually define how do you really want to feel, and then let that list guide you, and let that be your goal, how you want to feel. And then if you focus on feelings, you can actually achieve that today. If I want to feel love today, maybe I just need to go to the person who loves me and just like spend time with that person. Or if you want to be connected, I'm going to call my best friend. Or if you want to, I don't know, feel inspired, you watch some inspirational video like this video you're watching now. Or something like that. You just like ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And you can access maybe not the ultimate version of that feeling, but some kind of that feeling today. And that will be a motivation for you to continue and do something else tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a beautiful point. Is like you kind of you start to look at why you want to be this healthy person anyways. Like why, right? Like, and it's not ever just because you want to look good, right? Because that's not a motivation really for any of us. Like,
we think, and that's what we want, but because subconsciously we think, okay, if I look good, I'll be accepted, I'll be loved, and that's the biggest motivation. We all just want to we want to feel connected, we want to feel loved, we want to be accepted. That's like part of being human. I don't know anyone who doesn't want these things.
Yeah.
And some people consciously recognize them, some people didn't have a chance yet. So they just think, oh, I need that six pack, I need that perfect boyfriend, or I need that new dress so my friends could validate me. But we just want to feel loved.
Yes. And that's a beautiful thing to realize, because then it's like you can start to kind of take down the mental blocks that you have around receiving that love and receiving that community and receiving that connection. Because essentially the truth is your body doesn't have to look anyway in order for you to have those things. And once you start to allow yourself to have those things that you think you could only have when you're thin, right? That's going to be even more, rewiring and restructuring of your brain. That's going to lead you towards healthy habits with your body, because it starts to separate, right? You start to see that it's not this big tangled mess that you have to be thin in order to be loved, right? And you start to prove it to yourself. And then this takes all this pressure off your body to be perfect before you think you can get all these things. And then all of a sudden eating healthy is easier, right?
Yeah, and ironically, once you remove that pressure,
Mm-hmm.
you actually see that you actually want to feel good, not because you need to please others, but that's just how you want to feel good in your body. You want to be
Exactly.
lighter. You don't want to carry excess weight because that's a burden.
Yeah.
And that could be a trap because now I see in this like body positivity movement that they would say, oh, I weigh like, 100 or like I don't know, 100 kilos, 200, 300 pounds, and I love myself and I eat cupcakes every day. And that's like, no, if you really love yourself, like, why would you do this to yourself? Because that's
Right.
really, really hard to live in that
Mm-hmm.
body. So that could be like also, you know, dangerous to think
Totally.
like, oh, I'm just going to focus on loving myself. And because I love myself, I'm going to eat boxes of chocolate and I'm going to eat, milkshakes and cupcakes and donuts every day.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you do these things, it probably is just a reflection of what's inside.
Right.
So that love is not the real self-love,
Right.
because if you really love yourself, you don't express it with chocolate. You
Right.
express it with green juice.
Right. Exactly.
It's just a joke. Like, it doesn't need to be green juice, but you just do
Totally.
something that actually makes you healthy
Yeah.
and doesn't kill you in the long term.
And that's like, I think that's a cool point. And I kind of use this. I use that point too. Is like, I think if you really think like, I need the chocolate, I need the cookies, I need the whatever. One of the pieces of advice that I give people is like, go and like do that 100%. Like, go eat the chocolate, but be completely present with it. Like, really focus on how it makes you feel. Really focus on how you thought it was gonna make you feel and how it actually made you feel. And this, I think, is like the self love work. And again, this awareness work is that you're gonna find eventually, if you like kind of remove this guilt thing and this crazy stuff we have around food that like it makes us a good or a bad person or that it
Yeah.
makes us guilty or not guilty. It's like if you just boil it down to how does it make you feel physically, you're probably not
Mm.
going to do chocolate because it actually doesn't feel good if you're really being aware. It feels good in the moment, like when you put it on your tongue and you taste it and that tastes good. But long term, if you're aware, it doesn't feel good. And so, like, I think for people like you and for me, people probably look at us and they're like, you eat so pure, you eat so healthy. How do you discipline yourself? And the answer is we don't use discipline. We use
No,
awareness,
it doesn't work. Willpower
right?
doesn't work. Yeah.
No.
I can assure you. And
Yeah.
now there's so much research saying that we actually have limited amount of willpower, and once we
Yeah.
exhaust it, we just doomed to fail and fall off the wagon. So it's not gonna, like, relying on willpower is like the worst strategy ever.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and I think that this is kind of a nice leeway. Is like in your program, your 21-day program, you teach people how not to rely on their willpower. You're
Yeah,
giving
exactly.
tools that actually work long term, right? For building a healthy lifestyle, for building a healthy mindset, for building a healthy just being in general. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your 21-day program?
Yes, so it's this is called Libertarian Detox, and that's 21-day kickstart program. And the reason why it's 21 days because we can all commit to 21 days. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of saying be healthy for the rest of your life, because it might be scary,
Mm-hmm.
because I know it would have been for me. So it's like you just commit to 21 days, and it's not like some sort of crazy cleanse when you do just lemonade or juice fasting or water fasting or anything like that. It's whole foods cleanse, and it's structured in a way that you just remove some things that are not good for you, and then you feel better, and then you add new things that nourish your cells. So it's like two-part program really. One part is nutrition, where there's
Mm-hmm.
detox protocol, how you to cleanse your body, how to cleanse your organs, how to feel better. And also there's nutrition training to actually explain how blood sugar regulation works, how your body processes food. So just basic, so you can understand how your precious body works.
Mm-hmm.
And then another part of the program is mindset coaching. So
Mm-hmm.
where you uncover all these stories and these reasons why you actually carry excess weight and
Mm-hmm.
how to change your beliefs and start to love yourself. And that's also like, it's not that, oh, just love yourself and you'll be happy. I know it like doesn't work like that. Okay, love myself, like what the hell does that mean? So
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
actually techniques and tools and steps and processes to show you and to guide you how to do that. So it's like video trainings, video training where I teach and explain the concepts, and there's PDF worksheets where I actually answer all these questions for yourself, and you come up with all these aha moments, and you do these processes, and it's really like been life-changing for a lot of women.
Amazing. So cool.
Yes,
And and so the program starts next month in May.
yes, it starts on the 1st of May, and registration is open now. And yes, so it starts on the 21st of May until 22nd of May. And then there's also guidelines what to do after the detox. So it's not like you just finish and you go back to your old habits. No, you implement what you feel, you like experience how some of the new things that you incorporate into your new lifestyle makes you feel, and you take it on board for the rest of your life. And and when you like join the program, you get lifetime access, and it's run twice a year. So usually women just repeat it, do it like in spring and in fall every year to rejuvenate yourself and to feel better.
Cool. And so so people can find that at the libertariandetox.com, and I'll put links down below.
Yes.
So figure that out.
And I've also got 3 video training series where you can watch for free, watch those videos and see if the message resonates with you. And there's a lot of, there's also PDF downloads where you can do some mindset exercises and try some recipes and see if you like this style of eating. And yes, so like I would really encourage you to watch these videos because they will be up until 28th of April, I think. So you can watch those.
Totally. And I've watched the videos and they are full of some really awesome content. And like I say, like I'm not someone who's going to be like promoting weight loss stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting Osha because her stuff is really awesome. And even I would even say, like, if you're not even trying to lose weight, but you really want to get healthy, right? And you've got
because actually, that's what I really want to do. And I understand that this is the weight loss is like, I'm gonna reveal the secret. It's sort of like a bait because it was for me. I was looking for weight loss. It's not what I needed, but that's what I wanted. So a lot of women that they think like, oh, I just need to lose those, 15 pounds in 3 weeks, which a lot of women do, lose like 10, 15 pounds during the 3 first weeks. And that's what I need. But then they go deeper, do these exercises, and then it's like life-changing. Oh, okay, so I understood actually I didn't even know I hated my body and like I didn't love myself. So this is what I need to work on.
Perfect.
So
exactly. Yeah. Like that's what I was gonna say. It's like this training is not just about weight loss. It really is about health. And it's exactly kind of what we've been talking about here, is that the program is designed for anyone that wants to get healthy. And that weight loss, if that is what is required for you, will be a natural byproduct of that, if that is what is required. But if you are dealing with kind of any kind of illness, any kind of like things going on in your body where you feel off kilter, and you know that there's a mindset component to that, this program is for you because she really does a good job of explaining like why you might have things set up in your mindset and in your lifestyle that sabotage you from getting to your healthiest place possible. And I think that that's why I just like really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I really appreciate your program. And I want to share it with people because it's awesome, and it's not like you're giving people what they want, which is weight loss, right? But in the process of that, you're giving people what they need, right? Yes. Which is health. This is about health, and it's about making these little changes over a period of time that lead to a sustainable, healthy lifestyle that will cause you to have a healthy body weight as a byproduct of that, right? But also in the process, you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn about what you want. You're going to learn about how you want to feel. You're going to learn about all these other aspects of life that have nothing to do with food and nothing to do with your body, that your body was just a catalyst for that, right? That you're
exactly. That's what I wanted to add. Like, it's a gift. Actually, your excess weight, if you have some excess weight, it's a gift. And we all have these triggers or catalysts. And for some people, it's excess weight. For some people, it's struggle with eating disorders. For some people, maybe it's like this, like at relationships. So some people it's like with finances. Some people have the whole package,
Yeah.
So it's like whatever triggers you, to actually work on yourself and discover these deeper layers, because that's why we are here. I don't know, it's not just like to look good and just to eat food and then move to the next place. It's just,
Exactly.
I think we come here to learn the lessons that we're here to learn, and whatever works best for you.
Yeah.
Maybe weight, like excess weight, is the perfect catalyst for what you need to experience in this life. So
Exactly.
that's a gift.
Exactly. And look at it like a journey, right? It's a fun
Yes.
journey if you take it on like that, right? It's not this big slog, terrible, awful thing until you're at your perfect weight, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and I say to people all the time, it's like this healing journey that both of us have been on. It wasn't like you were in this really shitty place, and then now that you're in this awesome place, you feel good.
Yeah, no,
And it,
yay, rainbows and
right,
unicorns. Like we still
exactly.
deal with life stuff, and I'm sure like it's like different challenges now,
Yeah,
but it's not like, yeah, it was before and after. Before life was dark and horrible, and
exactly,
now it's like beautiful. It is
exactly.
beautiful if you look at it that way, and it's
Yeah,
all in the mindset, but it's not like that. It's like,
yeah, exactly. But like, and I think too, like on the kind of the flip side of that is that each step you took along your journey made you feel better than the last step,
yes,
right? It was like it's not like you have to wait until you're after, which never exists, to feel better,
yeah,
right? It's like don't think of it like that. It's not you aren't gonna feel any amount better until you're in your perfect body. It's like no, you're gonna feel like amazing, and then your perfect body will happen. But like, you know what I mean? Like every single step you take on your journey is going to lead you to feeling better than you did at the last step. And that's what's so
exactly.
awesome about this journey. It's not waiting till the after for the results. It's saying like, no, you get results today. Like you make a choice today, you feel a little bit better today, you get results today. And like so for 21 days, you get results because it's things that you're doing now, right? It's not for when I lose 20 pounds or whatever. You start to say, like, okay, like now, right now. What am I doing now? How am I helping myself now? How do I want to feel now? What can I do for myself now? And that's kind of like, that's the quick fix part of it, right? So there is a little bit of a quick
Yeah,
fix in
yeah,
true health, in that, yeah, you start treating yourself good now. You stop putting it off, right?
yes, yeah, exactly.
All right. So
But
do
it
you,
doesn't end with 21 days.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And but 21 days is an awesome kind of intro into what this journey could look like for you if you
Yeah.
decide to keep going, right? And that it's just like you say, it's just one step at a time, and it's just do what you can do today. And
And it's what's really beautiful is that there's also a private Facebook group where all women share their stories, their struggles, and the recipes and inspiration and support each other. And it doesn't happen only during the detox, but also because I started this program in 2014. So all the women, it's like there's this little community and everyone supports each other. We have questions and ask, and that's so beautiful to
yeah,
watch.
totally. Yeah, and I think that like group support is so important because
Yes.
this stuff can be confronting, right? When you're really sitting and looking with your at yourself and really starting to slow down and remove the distractions, it can be overwhelming and it can be scary. And this is why people don't do it, right? Because it's like we know that there's stuff there that we don't want to see,
Yeah.
and so just knowing that you have that group support can be so helpful.
Yes. Yeah, someone who's experiencing the same things as you're experiencing and can really relate and understand. So that's
Mhm.
really important.
Perfect, awesome. All right. So, is there anything else that you want to say before we wrap up here?
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed the conversation
Yeah,
today.
that's really awesome. I think this is going to be so helpful for people because it is. It's scary to say like, yeah, this is like a lifestyle change you're going to have to make. People that can, like you say, that can be very overwhelming. So I think it's just like so awesome that you were saying that. Look, just do what you can do today. Just start to
Yes.
build awareness today. Just start to do the things that are pertinent to right now. What you can do today, and then what you can't do today, don't bother. Right?
Yeah.
We'll figure
And
that out another.
remove the distractions.
Yes.
Remove the
Mm-hmm.
distractions at least for like 10 minutes a day. We all can do 10 minutes a
Mm-hmm.
day. Remove the
Mm-hmm.
distractions, get in tune with yourself, and really ask, like, oh, how am I actually really doing today? And if I'm struggling with something, what is the real reason? because we all know the answer, and the answer usually comes instantly.
Yeah.
It's just usually we're not willing to listen, and we think like, oh, I can't be that way. It's so uncomfortable. So it's actually you have to get comfortable with uncomfortable and really, okay, I'm going to deal with this and really face and act on it. Because you get the answers and you get the solutions, but it's up to you then whether you're going to act on it. Because, you know, if you do, that will work. Or if you're just going to ignore and go scroll your Facebook or distract yourself with food or whatever else.
Yeah, exactly. And so again, like, you don't have to sit in lotus position for an hour and close your eyes or whatever. It can be 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Just being for 5 minutes. Just do what you can do today. And start to prioritize health over weight loss. And your journey will take care of itself, right? It'll pull you.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to fail, because you're going to try a whole bunch of things. Same for me, right? Like I'm just like you. I've tried everything out there, right? I've done all the things, and none of it was a waste of time because I learned something from every single one of those things. And I think it's just be willing to go on your journey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, again, find Osha at thelovetariandetox.com. There's tons of free content on there. Her program is amazing. I highly recommend it. And if you have any questions for Osha, you can leave them down below, and I will send them her way. I will get you to moderate some of the comments on this video if anyone has questions for you. And yeah, have an awesome rest of your day, everybody. And thank you for listening. And thank you, Osha, for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.